I'm sending to you now.
Thumbs
Bam, we're
up.
live. It is. I wonder what happened. Bruce, G's Louise, David Weed, Adam, Heidi, Michelle. Michelle, I'm going to say something that could be taken as extremely offensive, and I apologize. Are you new to the show? Vindicate. CrossFit Joe. Calvin's a top guy from the UK. Clive McLaughlin. No Church of England is Protestant. Hal Roberts. Melissa. Where is the guest? Oh shit. I wrote to him, I said Alvin. Fuck.
Good start.
Alvin.
Good start.
What a mess. What a mess. This morning, that would, the saddest part about a guest not showing up is just how much fucking preparation I do.
It all goes out the window.
Yeah. Maybe work can't wait for the get maybe work how wouldn't it be great if Daniel Brandon makes a surprise appearance instead? Shit, where is he? Did you get the notes?
I got him.
Look at the very last one. Have you seen this lady running for governor? I wanted to show No, this is just a shirt. I might be getting chubby. Still working out like a madman. Okay, here. This is the lady. What's this lady's name? Carrie something. Let's see. Can I see the top?
Carrie Lake.
Yeah, is that her name? Carrie Lake. Okay, listen to this. The lady she's running against for Arizona won't debate her, which is so weird. Okay.
Childhood. Just look at this disturbing curriculum being forced on them at school. Think about it. If any one of us were to talk about sex at work, that would be sexual discrimination. You'd be fired from your job. But twice convicted racist Hobbs sponsored legislation to start sex education in kindergarten. Any adult who feels the need to talk about sex with 5-year-olds should be nowhere near a school and nowhere near the governor's office.
Why did she call her a twice convicted racist?
I don't know. How do you convict somebody of that?
I keep seeing all of these people. I mean, that just makes sense, right? Why don't they change the name of it from sex education to like reproductive? Why can't it be just thrown in with science? I don't want to be a prude either. Like, I don't want to be that guy who's like put explicitly lyric tags on all DVDs or whatever they did when I was a kid, CDs. But why can't it just be hey, this is how seahorses do it. The dude carries the shit around. This is how zebras do it. He gets erect and they only do, this is how he puts the semen in the other zebra. This is how, and just show just how, and this is how amoebas do it. They're single, that they're asexual or whatever the fuck they are. Why can't it just be like that? Does that make sense? Or do you think I'm being a prude? I'm open, Caleb. Am I being a prude?
No, I mean, I don't know. Whenever it was taught to me, they called it sex ed when I was.
Yeah, me too. They were for me too.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was like just to be.
Do you remember what it was
specific?
too? The craziest thing I remember is the teacher brought a banana and showed how to put a condom on, and really.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even think we even discussed like the action of sex. It was like the process of it, like after intercourse.
Yeah, tons of time on venereal diseases, right? I remember that.
Oh
too.
yeah, so many, and they would just like flash like these super obscene pictures up on the screen.
Like it was a lot of bloody like scabs on the ends of penises. I think they were called chancres, right? A lot of that.
Yeah, lots of, and then they were showing.
What grade were you in?
I think it was like fifth grade. Like fifth grade, that's when they kind of taught us. And like instead, they gave us all the dudes, like they separated the dudes and the chicks, and they all gave us deodorant. And so when we got out of the class, all the guys went up to the chicks and were like, "What'd you guys get? You guys get any like? What'd you get in your package or whatever?" It was like a little goodie bag of shit. And none of the girls wanted to tell us, but then eventually we found out that they all got like tampons or something. And so it was like
That's public school.
public school, yeah. And
Hey, you know, even that is weird, right? I know people are gonna say it's fucked up, but if I have a daughter, I don't want someone giving her anything to put on her vagina. Any chemicals,
Yeah, I thought that.
any talking to her about pushing anything up inside of her, to the protocol of whatever the West is doing to protect, you know, women from bleeding through their clothes. I would rather like my fucking hippie wife tell her what to do.
It was really funny because we all got deodorant, and so it was like
That too.
maybe a reprieve from the teachers because we probably all smelled like shit, fucking bo.
I would take that
Craziness.
deodorant and I would have written on the wall with it and then lit it on fire.
Is deodorant flammable?
Yeah, it's so great.
That's
So
awesome.
great.
Yeah, that was fifth grade, so that was super. I felt like I was really young when I learned that stuff. And then it was funny because I don't think like my parents talked to me about it until probably 3 years later, or 2 or 3 years later.
I'm going to tell you this, and my mom's going to so deny this. But I think the only thing my mom really talked to me about sex, and she made it very clear in a bunch of at least once she told me explicitly, and I was too young to even understand what the fuck she was talking about. I was probably in the 8th grade or something, maybe even younger. But never leverage. I remember one time she said, "Never tell someone if you want me to love you, you'll do this." And she just left it blank. Like, you'll give me a bite of your cookie. Or if you loved me, you do this. And I always took it that when she said that, I even remember where she told me that. And I always took it, I think my sister was there too. And as I got older, I'm like, oh, I think she was talking about like, don't use that against women for anything. Like, you'll date me, you'll kiss me, you'll sleep with me.
I suppose, yeah, but it's not natural because then the woman feels like they need to be giving something or whatever, something out of what they are.
I there was no way in fucking hell. I know this isn't true for a lot of people, but there was no way in hell I was going to have sex in the 8th grade.
Yeah, no way. Not a chance.
Not me. Not in the slightest. Uh-oh. Do I have to remove you? Oh, I saw that. You gave him the stink eye. They don't knock?
No, not. Sometimes they do, but I think he's got a patient next door, so he's trying to get stuff together.
Has anyone figured out what you do?
What do you mean, like on the show or like as like me actual job?
No, on the show.
Oh, just about everybody knows that I'm on the show.
Oh, now they've figured it out. What's going on?
Yeah. After a while, they started asking like why I'm in this room, like why I close the door, like that kind of thing. So yeah, they kind of figured it out.
There was this girl. She was so fucking cool. Her name was Amy Napierski. She was in my woodshop class.
Napierski or Napierski?
Napierski, and she had boobs, and she sat.
Oh,
and she,
man.
And she was in my 8th grade woodshop class, and there were 2 other guys, and we were just obsessed with her. And she just let us just be totally frank with her, like whatever.
I swear, the first chick that gets boobs in or in like middle and high school, that's it. Like
every dude's lost his shit.
100%.
Look at.
Hey,
Souza,
back,
what
baby.
the fuck? Where's Calvin Robinson?
I have no idea. In the UK?
I guarantee you it's a time thing. Did you? I
No,
sent
it's
him
4
my.
p.m. there.
I know, but like somehow he got confused.
No, but I sent him the. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
It happens every 100 shows. Hey, did you see I accidentally sent him my notes?
Yes, I just.
The fucking
I didn't see that.
I'm a jackass.
I was like, oh.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Roxanne. Massive fan of what's FR? Is that some sort of
father?
Oh, nice. Father Calvin Robinson, going to hear him speak in Manchester. He seems like a good dude. It seems like a pretty easy. Politics are kind of easy these days.
Follow the agenda.
How come no one just explains to these people? So it seems like it would be so easy to get on the same page with someone. Why doesn't someone just explain to these people, like when you ask, is there a man or a woman or what's the difference? Why don't they just, like someone who's a linguist or epistemologist or not oncologist, ontologist, like just explain to them, hey, this is the truth. Why doesn't a philosopher come on and just be like, okay, words signify different things, and he and she signify, and they point to and they put up something on the screen that says genitalia, and that's what's going on. And then there's other things that signify imaginary things, like red means stop. We've talked about that endlessly on the show. That signifies that, but that's imaginary. I can't point to stop, right? Why doesn't someone just? I don't understand why someone just doesn't explain that.
Well,
Hey, you're trapped
truth.
you're trapped in your head.
That's your truth. That's your truth. You don't understand gender identity.
I want to find. Well, then I would start with. Can you show me? Then someone from our side of our truth needs to just be like, hey, I'm completely ignorant. Can you explain to me? I want to see gender.
But you can't see it because that's up to the individual to decide.
Well, then we're talking about two different things, because I can show you he. Caleb, pull your cock out.
Oh, that's limiting his choices in his gender identity. That's biology.
I hear you.
I'm having a hard time playing the devil's advocate of it too, but
I want to see their and then once we know that, once we can get on the same page with that, we can get on with it. Like I'm totally okay if the implications, if I start debating with you that Bigfoot has fur or hair, is that I think Bigfoot is real. And that's the part I'm concerned with, is that there's people on our side who are living in reality who start debating with them about gender. And all you're doing, no matter what you say about whether Superman or Batman is stronger, once you get into the debate, you have at bare minimum implicitly agreed to the delusion that they are real.
Yeah, you have to start with that. I think it's have explicit. A discussion.
Yeah, and I just I don't understand why we can't just I don't understand. Oh, that's funny you should say that, Jeff. Greg just texted me. Should we meet you guys at the skate park? Oh yeah, I would love that. Him and I are meeting at the skate park today with our kids.
No, that sounds fun.
I will call you when the podcast is over. By the way, the thing with Danielle Brandon is not a joke. She texts us like she texts us. I talk to her. I have her phone number.
She's coming on. It's just a matter of time.
She just gets busy. She's got a lot of rad gigs to do.
Hey, I'm so happy she, like, when she texts back that says "fuck off, stop texting me," I'm stoked. I'm like, yeah. She's texting.
She's a good dude.
Ron, I'm like, hey, I call Souza right away. Souza, speaking of calling you, I called you yesterday.
And I called you back. We got so much to go over. I was surprised that it took you that long to call me. I was just.
I know it did take me a long time.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I wrote this whole thing out. I got this whole dude. I was on fire yesterday. Did you see all the texts I was getting through and what I was setting up?
I saw.
Dude,
yeah, I woke up to like 70.
Mandatory 70 texts everybody.
This show's over at 8:30.
7:05.
And then the boys have class till 10 a.m. Okay. Fuck it. Let's just do a live show.
Fuck it, we're going live.
We're going live. Okay.
We can do a recap of Souza's trip.
No one wants that.
Let's start with it might be fun to look at his Instagram though. I like that. Let's start with Tulsi. What's her name? Tulsi Gabbard. Gabner. Let's go over to her
Got it.
Instagram. I don't think I put a link. Sorry. And I just saw this morning while on the shitter. I thought this was interesting. I don't know if I'd ever seen this in my life. Oh, my mom's awake. I wonder if she's watching the show. She texts me good morning. Okay, yeah. Click on that one. That most recent one. Let's see.
I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness. Who divide us by racializing every.
I got a new meaning. I don't. Can you pull up what cabal means? Or I can do that if you don't want to lose this thread. I have a new definition of woke. You ready? I was going to read it to Calvin and see what he thought. Woke means making people. Oh, you should bring this up. Okay, we'll come back to this. I have proof that the U.S. military is woke. Sorry, Caleb.
Please,
sorry.
do tell.
And they give you the definition while they say they're not woke. It's fantastic. Okay, first I need to look up the word cabal, because every time I hear that word, I think it's
A secret political clique or faction.
Is it? I always think of, when I think of cabal, I think it's like anti-Semitic.
The archaic definition is a secret intrigue.
Oh, there's nothing secret. I think that's all wrong. I don't think anything's secret. People meeting in dark rooms with crystals. It's all out in the open, just like everything was out in the open about COVID from the beginning. Just people refused to listen.
You got to break it down before you can build it up in a new way.
I am a black man. Do you remember in Steve Martin, the jerk, he said, I was born into a young, poor black family? Do you remember that?
No.
You don't know. It's so funny that people will believe. Here we go. This show's already a mess. People will believe what they hear while the truth is right in front of them. Hold on. I got to play this. The jerk, Steve Martin. I know most of you don't even know who the fuck Steve Martin is. Born a poor black. And the gas cans are. Let me see if I can. Oh fuck! I can't find it. Okay, so cabal. So she doesn't like woke, and she doesn't like cabal. Okay, let's go back to Tulsi. Sorry, let's go back. Here we go. Yeah. He is.
And stoking anti-white racism, who actively work to undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution.
Oh, pause.
Who are
pause.
hostile.
They're stoking anti-white racism. I've never heard that. She shouldn't even say anti. The left is stoking white racism. And so, you know, when someone says, hey, it's bi-weekly, and you're like, I wonder what that means, and you look it up in the dictionary, and it means either every 2 weeks, or it means twice a week. It's really interesting. Bi-weekly. It's fucked up. So you never know if, like, does she want to fuck you every 2 weeks or twice a week? It's just they're stoking white racism. And what that means is they're stoking whites to be racist, but they're also stoking the world to be racist against whites. It's both. That's what the left is doing. I'm going to give you the perfect example. I was going to talk to Calvin about this. There are medical schools that are lowering the standard for people based on the color of their skin. I think there's 10 that have acknowledged that now in the United States. Meaning, if you're black, it's easier for you to get into the medical school. So now when I say I don't want a black doctor, it's no longer racist. It's now scientific, because I have mathematical proof based on their test scores that they weren't as good as students, and therefore I don't want one. It's just science. That is what systemic racism is. That is how. Look, here's my new word. I've never used this word. Not that it's a big word. I just never use it. That's how insidious systemic racism is, that it comes with the accusation of systemic racism. The people who are accusing that there's systemic racism are the ones inserting it with that word. It's like if I said to you, look, you got stung by a bee. You're like, where? And then I just stuck the stinger in you. Right there. That's what that shit is. You now know that blacks are not mathematically, just like there's 365 days in a year, just like Calvin was supposed to be here on October 11th using numbers, signifiers, things at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's the same logic, thought process, objectifying things, pointing at things so that we can get on the same page. We now know that if you see a doctor who's black, that there's a very good chance that they're not as good as the other doctors because they didn't do as well in school and they were let in just by the color of their skin. We never knew that before. Because it wasn't true before. But the people who are demanding it's true when it was never true, all doctors were equal. The people who are demanding they've actually created a reality where they're setting black people up, people with black skin, to be seen as worse doctors, and we'll have the proof.
In the name of equity.
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre.
And equality.
You can say the same
do you
about,
not see that what they're doing? If I had black skin, I mean, I have white skin and I'm losing my fucking mind. If I had black skin, I'd be losing my fucking mind right now, especially if I had kids.
You could say the same thing about females in like law enforcement and fire.
Yeah, all that. Well, the thing is, you know that they're inferior.
Physical standards are lower. Yep.
But some of them are.
You know what I mean by yes. I'm a sweeping broad generalization. Obviously, there's shitloads of female athletes that are the fittest female cop is fitter than 99% of all the cops. But what I'm saying is you take a man and a woman, you have to drag a 200-pound person out of a burning building. You go with the man 100 out of 100 times. Not even the most woke fuck would be like, you're like, hey, you're in a burning building. You get to choose a man or a woman to pull you out.
Mm-hmm.
No one's like a woman. No,
I had a recruit that was coming through with the one.
And if you do say that, I'm stoked for you because you'll be dead and that kind of idiocy will be done. Because I sure as fuck don't want you picking the person to pull my kid out. 100 out of 100 times I pick the fucking man, and it's not sexist. Well, maybe in the most raw form. Sorry, go ahead, Souza.
And also too, some of the stuff that you would look at, like if you were to take CrossFit athlete or people that did CrossFit, and we had a female that exceeded a lot of the stuff. I mean, she was fit, right. And then as time went on, she was unable to breach the door. So even though normal stuff and that we would consider that would be
Fat
fit,
Joe can breach the door,
right? So it's like back squats and like running, and we had these burpee box jumps, all this stuff. She absolutely crushed it. She was top of the class, no problem. But then when it came to just being able to break open and breach the door, the guy who was less fit, just because it was more muscle mass, and when it just came down to pure brute strength, was able to breach it, and she wasn't. And we had a case out here, I forget which department it was, forgot, that they were super happy because it was the first all women firehouse. And what happened was,
I don't want that. I do not want that near my house.
And well, what ended up happening was they got a call.
I know.
And again, they were unable to breach the door. And
that's a true story.
This is true. And they were unable to breach the door, and they were worried about trying to call for backup as to how that would look. And
has that ever happened to an all male firehouse where they couldn't breach a door?
Not that I know of.
I'm sure it has, but it's not going to be
like the bank vault door.
Yeah.
And there was an issue of not wanting to make it look like they weren't able to do it, and unfortunately the people inside perished because of it.
Sam Briggs will drag your dead ass out of fire like a champ. Word. I understand.
Yeah, but you're talking about one at the very, very top, and even then, what's the time on her being able to breach the door versus just somebody like Caleb, who's 6'4" and maybe isn't as fit.
6'2".
I was going to give him an extra 2 inches there. I was going to give him a little extra 2 inches. But what?
Give it to him.
But like, what would the time be on him breaching a door versus her? Now, obviously, if they were at the CrossFit Games, she would crush Caleb. No offense to Caleb, I haven't seen he's working out and he's looking jacked.
100%.
But at the same time, I still think he'd be able to get through the door faster than she would. Even though
twice. I don't think even Tia Toomey's kicking a door down faster than Caleb.
No.
I do think, though, that Danny Spiegel could back that ass up and knock down 2 doors faster than Caleb could fucking pick up his ass.
Not everybody has the autonomy for that as she does.
Oh, Sebi, did you say that she has a giant, strong ass? I did. Libby Budak, speaking of Badusi, Did you see the students who complained that the organic chemistry was too hard at an Ivy League school and the prof got fired? Shut the fuck up.
No
Come
shit,
on.
that happened. The guy had been a professor for like 20 years at the university, had no problems. Fucking crazy.
It reminds me of the dark ages. We're going backwards. It's actually slowing the progress of society as we descend everybody into chaos and be able to censor and limit people's discussion because nobody wants to be seen as racist or misogynist or anything else. So they put up these constructs that if you even just question it or ask about it as you are, all of a sudden you become labeled by people, and then therefore it takes away your voice without them having to do anything. They don't have to worry about censorship. We just
misogyny is another one. There isn't. They're creating the misogyny by their hatred towards the woman's body when people show appreciation. You're not allowed to show appreciation for a woman's body.
Can't question.
They're so backwards.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. We want the same thing, but they're actually creating it. Sevan, this is old news. Everyone knows you want an Indian doctor. Even our fucking in-house libtard, Jeff Bako, knows that you want an Indian doctor. It's like, yeah, duh. What's the most venomous snake in the world? The puff adder. What's the best doctor in the world? I am. Come to my office. I am your best doctor. Come over here. Let me see the shanker on your penis. Oh, yeah, thank you, Abu. It's fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts. You know, there was this thing Calvin was saying. I really like Calvin. I'm bummed he's not on. But there's this thing where people say racism is evil. There's nothing evil about racism. Racism is 100% retard.
It's arrogance.
It's just, it's pure stupidity. It's like this. And what's crazy is the people on the right are just as stupid about it too, because they keep talking about it as a skin color thing, and I'm guilty of it too. But it has nothing to do with skin color. It's all culture. It's all fucking culture. There's something that's been twisted up. I don't know what you would call the culture. You call it black culture, but for some reason it's being projected onto everyone with black skin, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and politics is downstream of culture. So once you see things happening in culture rather than...
Yeah, politics is where all the real retards hang out.
Yeah, then they just go, oh, look, these are the things that are becoming popular in this culture. Let's just continue to stoke this fire. And then the media exacerbates it. And the problem, too, is usually religion. A culture is downstream of religion, but we've seen that completely go away.
Say that politics is downstream from right. Well, there's another. It sucks that Calvin's not on here. The church is becoming woke, and doesn't the church know that the Democrats hate them and want them to go away? I'm tripping that the church would ever be woke.
Mm-hmm.
They're losing out on donations, man.
They're empty.
From going woke.
No, like from people just leaving the church.
Yeah, it's no longer
prevalent. Yeah, and that's from going woke.
Maybe.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
I think that the churches were super conservative for a really long time and like just had like hard lines on a lot of things, and then people were like, I don't want to do that anymore, and then they branched out to being more woke, and then they lost a lot of their congregation, so they can't like fund their church anymore. And now
so they think they're going to be woke and get those people back?
Yeah.
That's what I think, yeah.
Try to play to it to get more people into the church. We're accepting of your guys' ideologies. Please come back.
Right.
There's places where there should be okay, so Tulsi switching parties. Can you play this can you play this clip? It's
I don't have your live call-in notes unless it's
No, it's not live call-in. It's from Calvin. Sorry.
Okay.
It says woke means people making people feel included over getting the job done to its highest standards. So listen, I made this up last night. Woke means making people feel included over getting the job done to its highest standard, meaning you prioritize making everyone feel happy rather than prioritize the highest quality of the job. Now, I totally get that. I take my kids grocery shopping and I want them all to feel included over getting in and out as fast as we can or whatever my metric is for grocery shopping. I get it. I totally get it. Playing kickball on the yard, I totally get it. I want all the people to feel included and know the rules, and we'll slow it down a little bit so that everyone can play. The church should never do that. The church has this thing, and it's supposed to be a moral and I'm not a church guy. You guys know that. I'm not a fucking God guy in the slightest. But the church should have a moral baseline that's so fucking strong that it never drops below. We don't tolerate the killing of babies, period. We don't tolerate abortion. But yeah, I get it. That's it. It needs to have a moral. The U.S. military, there should never, ever be a time that the machine that's supposed to protect me and my kids and my family should ever do anything to make people feel included over the goal of making sure they're protecting my country. So someone goes to the U.S. military and they're a man and they want to become a woman. That should never happen. But Sevan, we need to make them feel good and include them. I don't care. That military is not for that. That money needs to be spent on more guns to protect my family. Or
those people are also not deployable, by the way, which is
they're not deployable.
Yeah. So I think I've encountered probably like 5 of them, 5 transgender individuals, and none of them are deployable. So they're essentially useless.
Fucking amazing. How like there's so many things I would rather do. I'd rather send a care package to the Ukraine than let someone in the U.S. military. How is there any priority for that? Oh my!
All in the sake of numbers. I'm telling you.
Okay, listen to this fucking lying bitch. Sorry, Mom. Listen.
Sorry. I would emphasize is I think more broadly in terms of, soldiers coming from marginalized communities or, demographics that are not widely represented in the Army. That's part of why we've got
to pause. Did you hear that quoted? Marginalized communities or people who aren't widely represented in the military. First of all, the marginalized communities are overrepresented in the U.S. military, if you believe in marginalized communities. Sure. Mm-hmm. So right there, she's conflated some crazy shit. That's woke talk. That's nonsense fucking gibberish. That's like talking about food droughts. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. And I don't point to the one fucking liquor store that's fucking out in the middle of fucking Alaska. Okay, go on. Fucking idiots. Go on.
Command climates and inclusion. We get criticized, frankly, sometimes for being woke. I'm not sure what woke means. I think woke means a lot of different things to different people.
Here, she defines it right here.
But first of all, I would say if woke means, we are not focused on war fighting, we are not focused on readiness, that doesn't reflect what I see at installations all around the country or overseas when I go and visit.
Here we go.
I think, we do have a wide range of soldiers in our Army. And we've got to make them all feel included.
Pause. She just said they're woke.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion program.
Why? You can pause this, Caleb. Why is the U.S. military worried about making people feel included? Why isn't it just worried about making the best soldiers? She said she's not woke and she's woke as fuck. She doesn't have the right. Like, my job is to bag groceries and make sure that they fit in there nicely, and that when you carry your fucking bag, this is what the joke is. It's such that when you carry your bag, you can put it in your car. So when someone's like, "Hey, I filled your bag up. Be careful how you carry it." You should have doubled the bag, fucktard. You should have used 2 bags. What is your mission? Your mission is to help me unload these groceries from the cart into my car and then get home. Not to make me fucking set me up for fucking failure, knowing that the fucking bad's gonna break. She just fucking defined what woke is. Woke is when your priorities are all fucked up and people are getting hurt for it at the cost of some imaginary bullshit you made up in your head. You don't have your priorities straight. There's a place to make people feel good. The playground at the elementary school. If you're a fucking restaurant owner, make your patrons feel good.
The people that we try to
make black and you don't, dear black people, If you're black and you don't feel good in a restaurant, don't go there, because guess what? There's tons of fucking white people that don't go to all black establishments because they don't fucking feel safe or good. There's tons of Chinese people who don't go into black. There's tons of white people who don't go into Chinese establishments because they don't feel safe or good. It's all over the place. You're never going to stop that.
Yeah, I won't go to France because of that.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Sorry, Melissa, but French people are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
At least my experience with them.
They're not all, but that airport is, every time I've gone through there, the French people there can suck a cock. But you could say that about Americans too in our airports. Our airports bring the worst out of people. Okay, sorry, Caleb. Go ahead.
Government
funded. The people that we try to like make feel good in the military don't make it. I'm just like none of those. The people who we try to cater to in the military either don't get anything that they're trying to get out of it. They're never going to deploy. They're never going to get the job that they want. All of those things are. There's a guard at every stop, essentially. And so if you have bullshit happening, like if you're being some type of way, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it to the top of leadership. You're not going to make it to any sort of like.
Caleb, that bitch did. Christine did.
Sure, but she's an elected. She's not. She's elected.
Okay.
Right? She's elected by the president or whoever the fuck.
So you don't think that chick was ever a soldier?
We never put her there.
Fuck no.
We never put her there. She's never been in the army. That's not us, essentially. If you look at anybody in leadership positions in the military, they've all made it from the bottom levels of leader of wherever the fuck they started all the way to the top. And then not once have they had any sort of snag. They've always, all of the people at the top are considering war fighting. They're not considering anything else.
Listen to this idiocy. If people feel excluded, they won't fight hard. The opposite of making someone feel, first of all, the opposite of making someone feel included is not making them feel excluded. So you're there it is. That's the tardation. That's the tardation. Nobody makes you feel included, Jeff, and you're fucking here every day.
Actually, I was gonna say, I'm kind of disappointed in Jeff's recent comments. He's grasping at straws. They used to be a little bit more thoughtful, and now they're just kind of like labeling. Well,
it's fun. It's good. It's good fodder. I'm glad he said it because it lets you see that it's not a this or that, and that's the problem with the left. That's what they think. It's not a this or that. You're never, ever, ever going to stop people from being racist, and it has nothing to do with evil. It's the same fucking mechanism. If every doctor you ever fucking see on TV is an Asian guy, you think doctors are Asian. Now just think about how black skinned people are represented on TV. Just think. I mean, I never missed the Cosby Show, but that show's not on anymore. I never, ever, ever. This thing that has become like black culture in this country, I guarantee you half the black skinned people in the fucking country can't stand it. They don't want it for their fucking kids. I partook in it for fucking ever. I fucking loved rap music, hip hop, all that shit. But there just reaches a point where you can't do it anymore. You got to get on with your life. You got to raise your kids. You got to contribute to society. You got to stop blaming people. You got to stop hating. You can't be fuck the police your whole life. You get 2 years, when you're fucking 15 to 17.
There's you remember Drink Champs? We had DJ Effin on. He's a co-host at Drink Champs.
Yeah.
They had cool. Snoop Dogg on a couple months back.
Mm-hmm.
That podcast was amazing. And the way that Snoop like talks about his evolution and progression is almost exactly what you said, but articulated from somebody who is very close in that industry and how he wants to feel like the next generation of it and how he was talking about people, the communities coming together and it was really good. You should check it out. I think you would. Okay. I think you would dig it. And it
makes me feel happy because Snoop Dogg's got some woke ass shit. Well, Matt Burns, what's up, player? What's up? Chase, what's up?
Why do you think the military is going that way?
What do you mean?
Like what way? Go like bending a knee to all the woke stuff and falling in line with the narrative.
Dude, it's 100% because of numbers. So here's what's happening. Our leadership, like in the middle, essentially. So like you have like the generals, and then you have like the officers in the middle, and then like the NCOs, non-commissioned officers, kind of in the middle as well. All of this like middle fucking ground leadership, not all of them, but a good amount of them are just not intelligent people. the way that they got their rank is likely based off of a test that they took, and it has nothing to do with whether or not they were a good leader. So what's happening is you have these not so great leaders in this middle ground here, and they're shitting on everybody below them. So the people below them are like, I'm out of here. I don't want to do this anymore. So all of those people are leaving. So all of your population in the military it's mass exodus. They want to go. And so you can't keep up with everybody. Like you can't fill spots, you can't fill jobs. Like people are like manning is super low basically everywhere. And so they think that to get people to join the military, they're going to give bonuses, which is it's a great way to get people in, or they're going to start allowing people to do things that they weren't previously allowed to. So like you're going to start giving people, like the people who want to transition, if they want to transition therapy, or they want to have like whatever fucking surgery, then the military will pay for that. Same thing with like, I think they're starting to consider like allowing people who have been on drugs in the past, like they're like openly allowing it. Because before it was like people would say that they'd never been on drugs, never done drugs, anything like that, and they would get in. But like now they're openly saying you can say that you've done drugs and you're going to get in, kind of thing. So they're just opening the door to people who are a little bit, I don't know, more fucked up than the people who are joining.
Did you see the father? I think he's a deacon in the UK saying that Jesus was a tranny.
What?
Yeah, it was like a real debate. It was like with a bunch of people. By the way, can you look up the word tranny? Is that derogatory? I don't want to say it if it's derogatory.
Also, too, I think one of the biggest things is that we've taken away the sense of like the heroism, right? So you would have these war movies and you would see it and they would portray this like courageous, like male, like Rambo, knife in his teeth, and he takes out the whole entire fort by himself. And we used to put that type of person on a pedestal. Do you want to read that?
For sure.
Oh, it says offensive.
Well, there you go. It's even got a label for it. That's
look
cool.
it up in Webster's. I want to see what it says in Webster's. Fuck this guy. They said he was a tranny because he washed, I guess in one of the stories, he washes people's feet, and that was a woman's job, and so it's his way of showing that he wanted to be a woman.
What?
I washed the dishes once.
I wash the dishes all the time.
I knew I didn't want to be a tranny. I knew I didn't want to be a tranny.
Even on Webster, it says it's offensive.
It does? Where?
Right here.
Oh, slang, disparaging, offensive. Oh, or less commonly.
What if I use it? If I use the Y, it's not offensive, but if I use the IE, it's offensive.
Please clarify when you're using it. Please clarify so I can determine my level of
tranny with the Y. Tranny with the Y.
Hey, scroll down. Let me see B. It's such a fun word to say. It sucks if it's offensive. Let me see this.
Transvestite
is tranny. No, just a short term tranny.
Anything
like
you
Jew.
type in,
like Jew. Like if I say, hey, I got Jew kids. Like if you're a Jew, you can say that, I guess. But if you're a non-Jew, they say it's offensive, which is crazy because it's so fun saying that word Jew.
It's like beaner.
Like, here, shit. Wikipedia is really like tranny is offensive and derogatory term or slur for transgender. What do you mean a derogatory? What does that mean? Like, during the early 2000s, there was a confusion and debate over whether the term was pejorative, was considered acceptable, or a reappropriated term of unity and pride. Several major media style books consider it hate speech. I don't even believe in hate speech. Hate speech is like gender. Tranny has recently appeared to be undergoing reappropriation to be used with pride. Okay, I'm going to go with that. There we go.
Reappropriation.
Find the definition that suits you.
Yeah. If you just wait long enough, the word won't mean anything, and you can use it whenever you want.
Yeah. So in 2010, before 2010, it was negative. Now it's been reappropriated.
Good. Just like.
Hey, why don't if they have like why don't they have like a it's kind of funny that transgender could be dude to girl or girl to dude, that they don't have a. Is that transgendo or transgenda?
What about transgendex?
That's you just go back and forth. It's astonishing that she defined woke. She said she's not woke and then defined woke. It's basically making people feel good over the objective of the mission.
Yeah, well, first she tried to show you that she knows what it means and that they're not.
She's trying to be cool.
Hey, it's like trying to eat before you breathe. You have to breathe. If you can chew,
Never thought of that.
Not in the moment, but if there's this hierarchy of shit you need, and breathing is like, if you be like, hey, if you could have all the food, if I could give you food right now or air to breathe, what should you take? Air. The second someone chooses food, they're toast. And so the hierarchies, her hierarchy's all fucked up. Did you see the lady? It's in my live calling no shows. It's pretty fucking amazing. This guy Calvin Robinson, he's a black preacher out of the UK. He's got his own news show, weekly piece in Australia, and it looks like he has his own news show in the UK on the GBN network, whatever that is. And some white chick called him a house Negro. And she runs a company called the Race Trust, to help to stop racism. Anglican deacon. Anglican. Oh, my mom and my sister are gonna pound me for that. I'm fucked. Anglican deacon. Couldn't you just send that in the private chat or something, Caleb?
What do you want me to write that phonetically in the private chat?
Yes, phonetically, please.
Dude, or how about learn how to read? What?
Isn't your sister religious the fuck?
So some chick a year ago who runs some company called the Race Trust
made a racist comment towards
comment, and that's what I've been saying since the beginning. The Republican dude that fucking hates on fucking homos, that's the dude that gets his dick sucked in the bathroom at the airport. And the left that fucking is like anti-racist, those are the fucking racists. You have to see that. There's millions of examples. Just hang out with those people long enough, you'll see it. Within minutes, you'll be seeing that they think that they're smarter than black people, and that's why they're doing this, to help them. I mean, it's so fucking simple to see. All right, I don't know if I should keep going through my notes. But that chick was fired, though. That was kind of cool from her. I think she had a job at a university, and when she did that, she was fired. And now she's suing the university, saying that she took the term house Negro from Malcolm X, and therefore it's okay. That's her.
Of course.
Isn't it funny too that the people?
I personally don't care that she called him that either, though. By the way, I don't care that she called him that. But I sure as fuck don't want her. I think she needs to be slapped around for it. I mean, she's just showing her true colors. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
No, I just say it's funny that the people that are always like saying like to be more inclusive and love is love are some of the most hateful people. Yes. And if you listen to a lot of the stuff that we talk about, at the end of the day, we're like, hey, adults could do whatever the hell they want to do. It's just when it starts to bleed into all these policies and it starts to become state funded and they're trying to push it into the education system and they're trying to lower standards, which are going to be actually harmful in certain fields, like you were discussing the medical field. And it's harmful for those individuals that work there as hard as they could to get up to those standards to be able to be qualified for it. You've completely diminished any merit that they have. And it's backwards, but it's really weird because if you talk to somebody who's really assumed that ideology, it's literally impossible to have them see it any other way, because usually the defense mechanism of protecting their ego kicks in and they're too angry.
That's why she called him a house Negro. She's being racist. She's basically saying, because you have white friends, I'm going to call you names.
Yeah.
It's just so obvious who the racist one there is. Not because she said that word, but because of what that phrase means. And does it not shame you that most people see you as a house Negro? Yeah, the Race Trust. That's supposed to be an anti-racist organization. That's the chick.
That's
Fuck,
insane.
she's hot. She should just keep her mouth.
It's a filter. It's a filter.
That's what I was gonna say. You could. The more filters are used,
The less
She should give Calvin. Give Calvin a cold one or a warm one.
She's probably got a
that.
fat ass forehead. Don't even think about it.
a 5 head.
I can't judge someone by their looks just because they're racist.
And the
I'm
funniest
still
thing,
open to letting my eyes tell me that they're hot. Go ahead.
and not maybe not funny, but the ironic part about it is if we were actually ever to see true harmful discrimination where somebody comes up and maybe it's a man that whatever is out and wearing women's clothing and people go over there and they want to actually like do violence to that individual because of the way that they chose to dress, we'd be some of the first people that'd be like, dude, back off. They're not hurting you or doing anything.
More than
like,
back off. Get
you can't beat that person
before I beat you with the bat. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But the problem is then you're not even giving those individuals a chance to defend somebody else's right to just be able to do whatever that they want to do because they've just conflated so much of this shit in ideology.
That's the irony of the U.S. military. The U.S. military is there to fucking protect your right to fucking put on high heels and fucking walk around New York City.
That's right.
As a dude. And now you want to be a part of the fucking U.S. military?
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You want to be a part of the fucking U.S. military and fuck it up, but not let them do that by being the weak link?
Crazy.
I can't watch Django. I couldn't watch Django. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it.
Django.
Django, whatever. I couldn't. I thought I can't stand Quentin Tarantino's the writing. I can't stand him. Hi, Will. Hi.
How we doing, guys?
Fucking pumped. I drank strong coffee 2 days in a row because it's fucking great. And my coffee maker needed to be descaled, and I couldn't. It wouldn't grind my I like one where you put the beans in and it grinds them, and so for 2 days I drank strong coffee and I loved it. Thank you.
Fuck yeah. I messed up. I didn't drink my strong coffee yesterday. I drank Starbucks and then I broke my finger.
Oh, no shit.
You idiot.
You idiot.
Here. Are you guys on the Sevan Podcast Instagram right now? Is that what we're doing live?
Sure.
Like, can you share it? I just.
Did you send it in the DM?
I just sent you the video, Caleb.
Oh.
Yeah, I just DM'd it to you. I failed a lift.
What the hell, Will?
Failed a lift and broke your finger?
So I was trying to split jerk it behind the neck, and I caught it with my neck forward, and then I smashed my finger between the rig.
Is there a video of
it? Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty funny.
I like it when there's video. I like it when there's video. That's why when I dropped my phone and shit the other day, I was kind of I was happy that there was social media, because if there wasn't, like, if I couldn't have made content out of it, I would have been pissed. But because I could make content out of it, I actually enjoyed it.
Turn a negative into a positive.
Okay, here we go. Here's the great Will Plummer with 95 pounds on the bar. Oh!
My guy.
Oh my God, that's cool. You to share that, Will. Let me see that again. Let me see that. Nice cock shot. You know you can trim that before you put your cock in the. Let me see what happens to your finger here.
Oh!
How did your finger? I don't see where the finger gets broken.
It rolled right into the ring on the viewer's left-hand side.
The looker's left.
The looker's left.
Do you want a picture? Do you want a picture of the finger?
No, is it gnarly?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Watch his looker.
Can you mute this? Oh! It's the pinky.
Yeah, it's my right pinky.
God, I love your expression. Hey, how's everything going at Strong Coffee?
Dude, it's good. We're just slowly collecting athletes.
Oh,
and then we're working on getting some college athletes also. Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
I will call you when I am done.
I love when you narrate your text.
Should be 35 minutes.
Makes us feel included.
Easy day.
When I'm texting Greg.
When I was in the ER yesterday, the dude behind me
was wearing a Sevan Podcast shirt.
comes in holding his
Heidi comes in Heidi
like holding his leg, limping in, and they're like, "What happened to you?" And he goes, "My vape exploded in my pocket." And they go, "Vapors? Like steam?" And he goes, "No, my vape." His vape exploded in his pocket while he was taking the groceries out. He said, he goes, "Yeah, I felt some heat, so I looked down and there was a ring of fire on my leg."
I fucking love it. I fucking love it.
He tried taking his pants off and it exploded.
I love it.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
That's great.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. And then I showed him the video to make him feel better, and he laughed.
Oh, that was nice of you. That was actually really nice of you.
Yeah, you're like, yours was an accident. Mine was semi on purpose.
Caleb, I am sending you over my notes. I'm going to see if I can get through 10 things right now.
Okay. Good
So
luck.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What did Greg always used to say about if you want to fight metabolic disease, you have to risk orthopedic calamity? How'd that go? What was that line?
Every time you want to address cardiovascular health, you have to take a risk with orthopedic calamity. Meaning every time you get off the couch, there is a chance that you're going to injure yourself. That's
what happened yesterday.
Yeah, and right. and here's the thing: what's crazy? It goes up like 10 million%. Like this, like it's like if you believe the science, you would never get off the couch, because the second you get off the couch, there's billions injured. Everyone.
Where can I find that quote?
It's everyone. Everyone gets injured who gets up. But on the other side, everyone who stays on the couch dies, being a disgusting, unenjoyable life. By the way, too, I would want to say one more thing about making yourself transgender, any of those things. You will never be happy. There's not a single person who changes anything on the outside who finds happiness. Not one. There's no girl who got tits and then ends up being happy from it. You will not find one. You won't find someone who got a transgender. You will only find people who are happy, who've done inner work. It is a shit ton of work. It's really easy, but it's fucking hard. And I'll tell you how hard it is. The vast majority of people on this planet can't take 10 deep breaths and stay concentrated on those 10 deep breaths for the whole time. They'll get to 3 and stop. They'll get to 5 and stop. Their brain will wander somewhere else. And that is why you will never be happy. There is no outside solution.
That shit's hard, man.
It is. I agree. But if you want happiness, it's there for all of us, right in front of us. I agree. It's hard as shit. But there's no going to Home Depot and buying a sledgehammer. Matter of fact, if you go down the path of being a transgender or getting the fake tits or any of that stuff, in the end, it will bite you in the ass and you will lose chunks of your life and you use chunks of happiness. Well, no, Sevan, the fake tits are great. Trust me. When every year you have to spend 3 days getting those things operated on and wiggled on, those 3 days will never match. And you've done that for 10 years in a row, and you spent 30 days in doctor's offices getting your tits worked on. Remember, I had 30 days at the beach with my kids looking at some other dude's wife's tits. So, and you can't get those. You can't get those back. You can't get those days back ever. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just telling you the truth.
Oh shit.
That's so annoying.
So
that's good.
That's great.
What about this crystal? I saw this crystal on my Instagram that you could rub on yourself and it takes the hair off your body. But I'm scared. Like it's bullshit.
How about the lady you had on the other day that was talking about the crystals for the COVID shot? What was she talking about? The school board lady, the one who fought the school board.
Oh, Tracy Henderson?
Yeah, like the treatment with the acupuncture. That seems a little bit out there for me. I don't know.
I don't remember that, but someone did tell me the other day that they got oxygen therapy and then they got the vaccine and then they got oxygen therapy right again, thinking that somehow it mitigated the damage of the oxygen therapy. Oh, Susie, please tell me you didn't. Please tell me you didn't. Please tell me you didn't. Please tell me you didn't.
Maybe she's having back issues.
I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
My two friends who had breast reduction surgery, I want to fucking like. What did you do? Susie? Okay,
You said
fine.
you did.
I forgive you. All right, fine.
Damn it, Susie.
See, I knew it. She was, yeah. Having back issues.
You could have just done CrossFit, yeah, and they'd have just
You
taken
guys
your
do
titties right
CrossFit.
away. Could have just done CrossFit. Will, thanks for being on the show. You're a good dude. Love you. Hope your finger gets better.
See you guys.
Yeah, I hope your
Bye.
finger gets better.
I wonder if it was the one he
I want
banged his
X-rays.
boyfriend's anus with. What?
Hey, some of my best meditation is when a plane is taking off and landing.
Me too.
I have to go internal. I can't and it's crazy because I know all
What are
the
you so stressed
statistics.
about?
I know all the statistics. I know it's the safest form of travel. I know everything, but I'm stressed as fuck because we're in the air floating in this fucking tube. And I have zero idea if it's cool in the cockpit or if they're freaking out. You don't fucking know. You're just in fucking seat 30B next to the smelly dude, just sitting there with your palms just sweating. And all I'm doing is trying to just focus on breathing through my belly and clearing my mind of all those thoughts. And it works because I have no other option. And once it starts to wander, I could feel my heart rate like start to elevate. And so I have to like bring it back in. And then I don't even think like, oh, okay, statistics. Okay, it's good. Okay, we've been flying since the 40s. Like none of that. I only just try to focus on my breath and just try to slow everything down inside my head.
You're not worried about turbulence bouncing your wings and flapping them off and folding them off in half and then just plummeting through the sky into the middle of fucking nowhere.
Don't fly with Caleb. He's not going to help you.
I went into a deep dive on the plane statistics, and I went into like understanding a little bit of like the turbulence and how it stays up. So statistically, I know that if anything's going to happen, it's most likely going to happen during landing or during takeoff. Once you're in the air, it's okay. And if not ever, has there been anything with turbulence unless there was a mechanical problem with the plane prior to the turbulence, in which case in 2009, Air France had some hard turbulence in the little altitude odometer.
You've done your research.
Fuck yeah, I have. I'm not playing around. I also know most of those wings will drop and peer up to 50 feet and losing altitude. It could bounce, and they have the flexibility even on the big ones to stay intact. So the chance of the wings breaking off is basically zero. But everything else.
He's meditating right now. He's just meditating right now, trying not to stress about air travel.
And I'm like, and I potentially have to get on a plane relatively soon again and everything else. And we had to do a bunch of them over in Europe. And I'm just like,
you should just drive everywhere.
Sean's doing science. Hey, you know what I do? When I get nervous, I just start saying I love you to whoever's name pops up in my head. And it's crazy too. Cause like crazy shit will happen. I'll be in there and I'll be like, I love you, Tommy Marquez. I love you, Sean. Like just anyone.
Yeah.
I love you, Joe Biden. Like it doesn't matter. I'm in just full like I love you mode, and I just do that until I calm down, and it works.
Yeah.
Okay, Canada, go ahead.
Hey, Sevan, how's it going? How's it going, boys?
Good.
Great.
I'm the one that sent you that video on your DMs and Instagram about the woke food video with the black nutritionist. Her name's the Black Nutritionist.
Yeah, I got that in my notes. That is crazy. So there it is. There's the racism. She's saying, may I?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's this lady. She's the black nutritionist, and she's saying that it's crazy for when white people project onto black people that their food is unhealthy. Like, so if you're like, hey, you shouldn't eat those donuts, and they're like, but that's part of our black culture, you're being racist. And this dude fucking sent me, the lady who made this video that went viral and is getting all this fucking attention and praise. She works for fucking Oreos. She's the chief nutritional science officer for fucking the company that makes Oreos. And it's a black woman. And you're just like, dude, I mean, you can't make this shit up. I'll eventually pull this up on the show. I actually went down a rabbit hole with that. It's fucking nuts. Dear people with black skin and retarded white people.
Yeah, she works for a company called Mondelez Industries.
Do not be tricked by anyone who is claiming racism. Do not take anything that they're saying is true. She's trying to sell Oreo cookies to fucking black people, and she's black. And that's got to be the leading correlate for what's killing black people and white people, ironically, besides abortion, which is another white-run fucking organization. The whole thing doesn't make any sense. And I'm pro-choice as a motherfucker. Don't get me wrong. But if you're black and you don't see that white people are killing your babies, you're fucked up.
Her official title was nutritionist.
Chief fucking okay, fuck it. I'm bringing it up.
Because if it's nutritionist, anybody could be a nutritionist. That doesn't. I could say nutritionist. Caleb's a sports nutritionist. You're a
Can I call
registered dietitian is the difference.
Do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm just going to make a comment. I really appreciate all your content. I'm hoping you're putting out more Three Brothers stuff. I have an 18-month-old. I'm a 47-year-old dad, and I can't wait to get my kid into Kumon soon. And my kid's becoming a beast and helpful through your videos and all that stuff. Did you see
the capable child? Did you see the capable child consulting page I started on YouTube?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I'm hoping you're going to be putting out a little bit more stuff like your older videos, like the potty training one, you did a couple of ones, because the one thing I'm having issues with is, say, just some feeding stuff. Like, he's loving fruit right now, but I'm trying to get him to eat some more proteins, but he's 18 months. So
yeah. Is he on the titties? Is he breastfeeding?
Yes, sir.
Wow. It's a good life. All right. You're the man.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call.
Bye. Damn, I missed a caller. I wanted to try to take every caller. Where
we haven't gotten through one thing.
I know. I can't believe people are fucking calling. We're like a real show today.
Awesome. You got them fired up now.
Caller, hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just, I won't cut any corners and I'll just get into it because it's a better late than never. And I don't want to beat around the bush. But
too late.
So I was, yeah, right. Yeah, so let me get back to the drawing board. So I guess just hang in there. So I guess I wanted to say that it's not really rocket science when you consider the fact that sometimes you might pull somebody's leg or it might be the last straw. But I think the best of both worlds when you don't get bent out of shape, for example.
Wow, is this a joke call? The best of both worlds, don't get bent out of shape.
Beating around the bush.
Beating around the bush. You're going, this is good if it is. I hope, please be a prank call. Please be a prank call. Go on.
All right. Well, so let me break the ice before you bite off more than you can chew. Because I don't really know why you're laughing. Like you're counting your chickens before they hatch. And I don't want you to cry over spilt milk. So
I apologize.
Hold on.
I'll be quiet and listen. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting. Sorry.
Yeah, let me just give you a taste of your own medicine.
Thank you.
Because I don't want to go on a wild goose chase or anything. My pops typically, he refers to me as a chip off the old block, but he usually has bigger fish to fry. So let me just hit the nail on the head, or better yet, let me put the ball in your court. So once my mom, I don't know about your guys' parents, but my mom, she mentioned to me with these types of conversations that we just need to take it with a grain of salt or go for a rain check. And I don't want to spill the beans or anything, but if I address the elephant in the room, it's just the fact that there's other fish in the sea. And I know I might sound a little crazy here, but there's a method to my madness. And so
is this
I don't want everybody to judge. Well, I don't want everybody to judge a book by a cover, so I'll let them have their cake and eat it too. So please just don't rain. Please don't just rain on my parade or let the cat out of the bag, because it's not over till the fat lady sings. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but
my mom is loving this.
Yeah, so
my mom probably is loving
Dude, this is awesome.
Well, I think actions speak louder than words, so I was just curious, if I could get a penny of your thoughts.
Thank you. I think I see your point, and we need a clap button. I think I see your point, and I agree with you on most. I could nothing off the top of my head.
So I'm not barking up the wrong tree or anything.
No.
I'm not comparing apples to oranges or
I wouldn't say you've uncovered any needles in the haystack, but it's still some good shit.
So I didn't. Okay, as long as I didn't put all my eggs in one basket, then okay. Yeah, because sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Oh, Well, thank you.
I know I'm probably on thin ice, so I'll let you guys get going.
And I look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you,
dude. Well done.
Yeah, hopefully I gave you guys the whole 9 yards, and the devil was in the details.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, caller.
All right, no such thing as a free lunch.
All right, bye.
Oh,
look at Heidi's. You're fucking brilliant, Heidi. Is he single?
Shit.
Oh my God.
That was good.
This girl that I'm friends with, who like is one of the most beautiful human beings I've ever seen, has the most ridiculous body. She texted me. She said, "What did she say? If a man makes me laugh, he can have me forever." And I of course, I'm just like I've seen all our boyfriends, and like that's not true. Like all her boyfriends are big, fucking strong, just studs. But I thought it was a nice gesture. No, she's not a horn dog. She wants his cash.
I feel like
she's a gold digger.
That dude could be a politician. Last caller.
I wonder, do you know we're on the air? Taylor, do you know we're on the air before you say something racist?
Who are you on with?
Just Souza and Caleb. The guests didn't show up today.
No way.
I know.
Classic.
You and JR would never do that to me.
No.
Except for all the times that you did.
Calvin Robinson. He's in the UK, so it could have been just a
scheduling thing.
Yeah, it could have just been a scheduling thing.
I was just calling because me and JR want to do a show tonight about some of the stuff potentially coming out about the new semifinal format, and then also Z-score and some of that stuff.
Today's
favorite subject, Z-score.
Do you know I do want to do it. I just have some friends in town that I've been neglecting. But
no worries.
But I do really want to do that show. Because then it gives me, and my other shows gives me shit to make fun of, you and JR. I need to do those shows so I can make fun of those shows.
Well, I'm good. I'm pretty open, but in terms of
what about this? The 14th. Oh, we're doing a UFC show. Okay. Can we talk later today? Let me just see what's going on with my schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I also wanted to talk about, dude, we got to start pumping up that we're going to be covering Rogue. I don't even think anybody knows that yet.
Okay. I agree. Maybe we'll let's block off a couple days. When is Rogue? It's Halloween weekend, right?
Yeah, I have us blocked.
Yeah, dude, you know how crazy? You know how crazy? Dude, that field is fucking insane on the men's side.
Good. Okay, good. Okay, so there's stuff to talk about. Good.
Yeah, there's a lot of meat on the bone.
And you and JR and Brian are all going to be on the ground, and I think which will be fantastic, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, we're staying in the same house.
Oh, you are? Okay, cool. All right.
We're bunking up. We're nuts about.
And remember, what the goal there is not to do good reporting, but to kiss Bill and Katie's ass so we get invited, just like we each get a free med ball and invited back.
My breath is going to smell like Bill and Katie's ass.
Oh, my God. I love it. I love it. God, Taylor, you speak my language.
All right. I'll see you guys.
Okay, bye.
Later.
It's good. Fucking love it. That needs to happen. Where are we? Did you see, are you watching what's going on with Dana White?
No.
So I noticed he lost a bunch of weight and his skin wasn't red anymore. You want to play the clip from his Instagram?
Yeah, is it the ad? That ad for whatever company it was.
Oh, you're breaking my fucking heart, Caleb. Really, you're gonna call it an ad? I'm so naive. I'm naive.
It's not an ad. It's a real true story.
Dana's definitely not natty, but basically Dana said that he went to this doctor and the doctor said he was going to die in 10 years. And he said, I don't want to die in 10 years. He goes, do everything I say for the next 10 weeks. And Dana's a fucking new man. Yeah, that's it, Melissa. Exactly. His body looks fucking great. What's crazy is I thought he was older than 53. I thought he was like, okay. So, yeah, can we play this? This is pretty crazy.
And they know when you're going to die. and they're right within a month. So I'm like, wait a minute. This guy can tell me when I'm going to die and be right within a month.
That was your hook.
I became obsessed. So I went down there. They did my blood work. He said, if you keep doing what you're doing right now and you stay on this trajectory, you got 10.4 years.
I said, Dana, I can see that you can't sleep through the night.
I would wake up in the middle of the night and throw up almost every night.
And I said, I'd be very surprised if it's not painful for you to bend down and tie your shoes right now. And he went, no fucking way. He slammed the table down. He's like, you got to be kidding me. You're starting to freak me out.
My legs were so fucked up that I couldn't put my socks on in the morning. I was like 1/10 of a point away from being diabetic. He said, you do exactly what I tell you to do for 10 weeks. And I guarantee you I'll change your life. So I was in. You have to understand, I don't fall into all this hippie bullshit. That, I don't do any of this shit. I'm like average Joe, real guy. Okay. This guy has changed my life in 10 weeks. I don't snore anymore. And I sleep 7-8 hours a night now.
How much weight have you lost? If you don't mind me
30
asking?
pounds. I feel like I'm 35 years old again. There's somebody who's listening right now who are going through the same things that I did. Horrible sleeping at night, snoring, sleep apnea, borderline diabetes. I invested in them for 10 weeks, and this guy changed my life. It's about not getting the right information. I think that this podcast is going to help a lot of people. They do these.
Oh, click on that guy, Gary. Sorry, Caleb. Could you go back to real quick? There's a guy who did that for him, Gary something or another. And I immediately DM'd him. I said, hey, did you should come on my podcast? Look at this guy. Everyone should just, you know what's cool about you guys, the listeners, what's really crazy is every time we have a guest on, they're like, holy fuck, your audience is ravenous. And I go, what do you mean? They're like, I've been on podcasts, bigger than yours, and I never get this type of feedback. And I just want to say thank you to all of you that you guys reach out to people and tell them how great they were on the podcast, because it really does. It's a huge help, because then those people tell other people it was a great experience to come on the podcast. But this guy has said he'll go anywhere on any podcast, and I'd love to fucking pick his brain, right?
What do you think he's telling him? Is it just a nutrition thing that he's got him?
It's all the stuff we know. I think he's pretty focused on ice baths and breathing. But then I have to guess the rest is food and diet. And if it's not, it's bullshit.
I was surprised that Dana.
He's got to be so stressed out. Dana White. Say that again, Caleb.
That I was surprised that Dana posted something about it. So I mean, he's not like an advertiser of things. So I felt like it must be a little legit or somewhat legit if Dana White's gonna like share it on his own personal Instagram.
Right. Hey, did I send you the notes to the live call-in show?
Yeah,
I did.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. Let's do 3-0. Holy shit! Did we schedule Blade again, Souza?
Not yet.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, we got to chat because our schedule's filling up and we got a couple of things coming down, and so
I want him to be a regular.
Yeah, he definitely needs to be a regular. He did so good.
Did you like Lisa, the identity doctor? Have you heard that one yet?
I haven't heard it in totality, but from checking out her Instagram and then listening to little bits of it on the show, and I was gonna say something, but I'll tell it to you after. I liked her a lot. Yeah, I thought she was good.
Some people love her, and some people it's just everything she said. Like, and I get what their point. It just doesn't stick with them. They're like, "What did she say?" Did you have an opinion, Caleb?
It felt like a lot of information. Like there was just a lot to digest.
Okay.
Like, which, I mean, it's not in a bad way, but like I was having to like pause because I listened to it later and I was like just pausing and like I had to kind of like, I don't know, calculate what was being said. But she was interesting.
Was any of it like, hey, this isn't grounded enough for me? This is like Emily Abbott shit. Like just like.
Some of it felt like that, but it wasn't like so out there. And
she acknowledged that can happen with her talk.
Yeah, I imagine.
4 hours yesterday.
Dude. I like sat outside for like 30 minutes. Just fucking like mind melted.
Spiegel didn't I mean, yesterday's was a lot to digest. Yeah, yesterday's was a lot to digest. Did you have to sit outside for 30 minutes like Caleb? It was crazy how we didn't get. Someone needs to take a clip where I ask them, "Oh, tell me about the hand-to-hand combat." I said, "Tell me about the hand-to-hand combat." Oh, you don't want to talk about the hand-to-hand combat? Can you tell me about the hand-to-hand combat? And then just put it on our put it on our Instagram, and then people will think that they're going to hear about hand-to-hand combat, but they'll watch all 4 hours.
No,
was that the longest? Was that the longest podcast we've done?
Yes,
I think it was. I think we've done
the second longest was like 2.5, 250.
No, I've seen a 3 hour. I've seen that thing go to 3 before.
We've done 3 hours, but that was past 4, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 4 hours and a couple minutes or something like that?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yeah. You ask, someone talks about killing someone, looking in someone's eyes and fucking killing them with your bare hands. And you're at the 2 hour and 20 minute mark and you're like, okay. And then at 3 hours, you ask him again and you're like, okay. And then, by the way, I'm not hating on him. Like, fuck, it's probably a crazy thing to talk about. But it was kind of like some girl going like this. Like she's topless and she's about to unsnap her bra. And like, you'd sit there for an hour or 2 hours. You know what I mean? I mean, he had us on the hook. I mean, I'm not suggesting he was doing it on purpose at all. But I'm suggesting we use it. I'm suggesting we do it on purpose to manipulate people to watch that podcast.
Yeah, that would make a good clip.
Okay, 301, racism towards whitey. I don't know what this one is. I hope it's comedy. I need some comedy in my life. I would love to get through like 10 of these right now. Can we do that in 10 minutes? Oh yeah, here we go. I think this is comedy. This looks like comedy, right? Anytime you see an Asian guy in racism, it's comedy.
This is very comedy.
Okay.
Look, I'm American. I think I'll use my credit card. You guys have anything non-dairy? Anything gluten-free? Oh, Bobby, look, I'm American. I think I'll use my credit card. Do you guys have anything non-dairy? Anything gluten-free?
Then you're welcome.
Gluten-free.
You're welcome. It's so amazing. It's kind of amazing that which ethnicities haven't gotten into the racism game, isn't it? Asians aren't like the highest paid people in the United States by far, like double what whites make. Like Asians and Indians, they're like, yeah, we're good. They're staying out of politics. They're just like,
dude, when the bullets are flying, you don't look up out of the foxhole.
they're just killing it. We're gonna stay down here. One of the things that people are complaining about in the UK is that there's not enough black teachers. 3% of the United Kingdom is black. It's like, dude, just fucking put your head down and fucking work. It's like, I wonder if there's more Armenians than there are blacks in the UK. Probably not. People on my show that don't see the value in defining words and make fun of that. People who think my show is political. This is for you. This is the harm you support. Okay, 297. God, these are some old ones.
Visit with you.
Oh yeah, this is crazy.
Clear one thing up, Professor Bridges. You said several times. You've used a phrase. I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's.
Okay, pause. So that's the thing that's the thing that needs to be explained right there. She's talking about something in her head, and he's talking about something out here in the real world. Okay, listen, but bear with me here, Souza and Caleb. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Go ahead, guess, boys.
7.
Wow. No, both you're wrong. How come you guys can't see it, though? What's wrong with you? Are you guys racist?
Well, we see it. We're the majority now, so it must be you.
I swear to you, I was trying my hardest to picture a 5. And she's saying that we have to know what people are fucking thinking. Wow, that couldn't have played out better. That was a great response, Souza. How are we supposed to fucking know what these fucking maniacs are thinking? We cannot allow anything that's in someone's head to become that's not real to lie to the rest of us that it's real. We have to at least be honest that red means stop and it's not true, and we've just agreed upon it. Money doesn't really have value. We've just agreed upon it to make commerce work.
But Souza and I can read each other's minds.
Wow. Okay, go on. This is fucking nuts right here. This lady's nuts.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also.
Sorry. Or she's got to be able to explain it to me. Please, someone tell me where I'm missing it. I'm open to that too. No, actually, Sevan, it is on the outside. Oh, it is? Just show it to me. I just need to see it. I need help. Or those people have to be fucking like, we have to stop allowing these people to bring their delusion is some sort of reality. Like Gatorade did that, making you think it adds electrolytes to people. It does not. Okay, go on.
Recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing.
Pause. So what that is, that's ad hominem in the guise of being virtue signaling. Yep. So they're talking about whether the apple is red or green, and he said it's red, and she then said your language is violent.
Yep, shutting down the conversation.
Yeah, that she doesn't like the word red. It's this is the batshit crazy part.
Yeah, and he's a bad guy now.
And so, what do you think we should do with these people? What do you think we should do with these people who can't have a conversation and just attack? It's basically, to use their terms, it's basically violent what she's doing. She's engaging him now in a place of combat, verbal combat, as opposed to debate. Who cares? Who cares if it was transphobic, what he said? It doesn't even matter if she's right or wrong, which she's not. But you've completely left the playing field.
That I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning. So we can't talk about it
because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about.
Pause. So now she conflated again.
Mm-hmm.
Now she pivoted again.
She doesn't even know how to answer the questions.
Yeah, exactly. She can't.
She has no. Yeah.
So you don't think, Caleb, you don't think she knows she's doing that? You think?
I think whenever, like,
she's so lost in her delusion, she doesn't know.
Yeah, she just doesn't have an answer for them. Like any question that's been asked, she just doesn't even know. So she's spouting out whatever she's figured out from before.
The problem also is he's playing into it because she's saying he's trying to go down into this door number 1, and then she's stopping and saying and pointing at door number 2. And then instead of staying focused on door number 1 to allow her to start to become circulatory, he also goes down door number 2 with her. And then when she goes from door number 2 to door number 3, he follows. So that's the main issue with this back and forth as well too, because if he just kept staying on the same question, then it would force her to have to come back to door number 1 each time, which would unravel her argument a little bit more.
Like
just
if
escalating
she would
the calamity.
Say it again.
Just like escalating the calamity, like just chaos.
And if she just would have said, hey, you're a fucking asshole, or I fucking hate your suit, he could have just fucking ignored it and stayed on point.
Yep. But that's what he should have done.
Yeah. But because she says, because she changes the entire subject and wants to like, I want to make a note that you're being transphobic, he bites.
Yes, and he should have ignored that and stayed, because by him validating that statement, the people that are in the same, might be on the fence of that ideology, are now falling back in line with her.
Yeah.
And the people that were already not in line with that ideology are continuing to go with him.
He's sort of in a lose-lose situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if he just would have stayed with the original question of essentially like, can you then define the woman for me because I'm confused here, and then just kept bringing it back to the definition of that.
What if he would have said, Souza, ma'am, please don't attack me. your name calling, if later on I would set time aside for you and have you, I don't want to be transphobic, and I'll set time aside for you so you can explain it. Can we stay on subject here without the name calling?
And then repeated his original question. That's what it would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people like this?
And that leads
No,
to
she set 'em
violence.
up.
Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you, or are they
Absolutely.
also treated like this, where
No,
they're
they're
told
allowed
that
to
they're
question.
opening up people to violence?
We have a good
by
time in my
questioning.
class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
It's completely
Wow,
lost.
I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot
I
just in this
know.
exchange.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary.
So she thinks that so basically what it comes down to is she's conflating a transgender person. She basically believes that you can switch your body from man to woman and now you are actually a woman, or you can switch your body from woman to man and then you are actually a man. She actually thinks that. And then there's the rest of us who are like, no, that's not the way it works.
Mhm.
Actually, so, but there are some things that does happen to, right? You can put some things under so much pressure that they change. You could change that. I don't know if this is true, but like you can change a coal to diamonds, right?
Pressure
You
makes
could put
diamonds.
you could put these things
Pressure
from
makes
the periodic chart of elements, whatever carbon is, and put it under so much pressure that it changes into another element. But just removing the penis off of a man and putting vagina on it and then changing its hormonal makeup through injections and changing its name, it's still
yeah, and
means that they can have kids.
it's like putting big tires on your Toyota pickup truck and then just saying it's a monster truck. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
And that your dick is bigger now.
Right,
and
right,
you could you could validate that point by
So
if you were to take that individual that transitioned fully and then you buried them, and then 1,000 years later somebody dug up their bones, they would still be able to identify their sex.
Yeah.
No matter what was going on in here, no matter the transitions that happened outside.
Your body is your body that you're born with. I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if this is true what I'm about to say, but I would guess the vast majority of people aren't 100% happy with the body they're born with.
Who is?
Yeah. And
No
the
one.
vast majority of us are at some point become wise enough to just accept that, to deal with that, and then to try to keep moving the needle to more, if you're 51%, 52%, 53%, and then, at some point, in your life, you're happy with it.
Yeah, they
Let's
should
say
just be grateful that they have the vessel that they're moving around in rather than trying to change it, because at least
You
you
guys
had the
touched on-
opportunity.
You guys touched on it or I guess what Roger touched on it, where like first world countries are so lucky to be able to have these problems,
Mhm.
essentially. And it was funny because he almost reverted back on. He like kind of doubled back on that.
I
later
think he's
on.
a liberal, by the way. I watched a bunch of his interviews. I think Roger's got some woke in him. He thinks like BLM's good and shit. He doesn't realize it's hurting black people.
Yeah, I think so too. He was. Yeah, there are a number of things that anyway, but the United States and like first world countries essentially are like lucky that they can even have these problems, essentially, like lucky that they can think about other things except for like, hey, where the fuck am I going to get clean water? Where am I going to get my food? When am I going to like fucking sleep? When can I like, how am I going to have any source of income? What can I trade? Like,
Yep.
you come out here and it's like people are worried about such less shit.
Hey, would you rather live in the fucking capital? It's all relative. Would you rather live in the capital of fucking Somalia, or would you rather be a Venezuelan crossing the border into Texas right now? I'll do the Venezuelan crossing into the border to Texas right now.
Yeah.
There's not even a fucking. It's not even like a question.
Mm-mm.
No way.
You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have people out here who are born into like their life is nothing from here on. As soon as they're born, they have nothing.
Would you
And they'll
rather
never
be
be
born
nothing.
in the fucking ghetto in the fucking Bronx, fucking worst place ever, or would you rather fucking be Hunter Biden, one of the most privileged kids on the planet? Privileged. I use in quotes.
Bronx.
Bronx.
All day.
All day. Would you rather be poor or a rich drug addict? Poor. Being a drug addict sucks, dude.
I'm sure it does.
It sucks.
But you got so much money, and you can get rid of it.
The thing is, here's the thing with being a drug addict. Why it sucks so bad? Because very quickly you do damage to the brain that you can never come back from.
In the relationships too.
And that's really the only bad thing about being a human being. That's what's so hard about being mentally disabled. Like by mentally disabled, I mean having Down syndrome or autism or those types of things. You become aware that you have that shit, and that shit sucks. And drugs will do that to you. Drugs will make you fucking just straight up retarded. I don't know if you guys have, I'm sure you guys know people who've done meth for 10 years. You're like, wow, you fucked your fucking, it's like totaling your car. You don't know anyone like that?
No.
Oh.
Dude.
And so Susan know a lot.
You know what?
Fuck your shit up.
The speech on holidays when you have addicts in your family is, okay, go hide your valuables and make sure you put your cash in the special spot because this side of the family's coming over.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty insulated.
Yeah.
Imagine how fucking confident that woman is to go there and talk that nonsense.
Is she a teacher? I think she was a teacher.
Yeah.
Does she wake up one day and then be like, holy fuck, I can't believe I can't I spoke in Congress or wherever the fuck she is. And I showed that I don't know the difference between my imagination and reality.
No, I think she's so wrapped up in that ideology that she feels like she's done well. She walks out holding her head high and she's proud.
Like she represented.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys have a little more time?
Yeah.
Sure.
290. Democrats, it's just they're just enforcing racism now.
Hi, hello. I've just been thinking today and I'm curious. Do you think Black Lives Matter is upset by the fact that the Caucasian son of the President of the United States is able to film himself repeatedly committing the same crimes that his daddy threw Black men and women in jail for the past 30 years without even so much as getting a slap on the wrist? In fact, evidence actually suggests that daddy weaponized the full force of the FBI to cover it up. Do you think they're upset? Because they're awfully quiet. Yes, hi.
If you guys don't know, it's been everywhere on Instagram. There's just tons and tons of videos of Hunter Biden as recently as, I don't know, fucking this year, sitting in bed with his shirt off, smoking crack. And it's been going on forever and ever and ever. And if you go back and look at the history, you'll see that, like she said, shitloads and shitloads of fucking human beings, especially melanated skin beings in the United States, spent thousands of years in jail cumulatively. Maybe it's millions, who knows, behind bars. And he said that there would be no tolerance. And he said all this harsh shit. And now for 10 years, his son's been smoking crack, banging his dead brother's wife, just all the crazy shit.
Jeez.
And none of that's secret, by the way. None of that's tinfoil hat shit. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And basically, if you read Hunter Biden's, or I think it's called Laptop from Hell, you hear about just deals Hunter's doing with China and the Ukraine and shit like that, just so he can get his hands on money to buy more drugs. And I know a guy who has hundreds of millions of dollars that you guys have never heard me talk about, who is a hardcore fucking drug addict. And he rolls with Hunter. So
Interesting.
I didn't see them smoking drugs together, but I know they're friends, and I know they're both hardcore drug addicts. Hardcore. Like smoking crack, shooting heroin, all that shit. And this guy's fucking richer than God. You guys don't know who this guy is either, I don't think. But you could find out very easily.
Yeah. Well, remember the good line, instead of a war on poverty, they have a war on drugs so the police could bother me.
Say that one more time.
Do you recognize that line?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
What song is it?
I forget exactly which song it is. Maybe Changes by Tupac. But instead of a war on poverty, they have a war on drugs so the police could bother me.
Oh, God, I don't know. Here's why I don't like that. In a town in Michigan, they legalized defecating in public because they use that same line. They said it just gives the police an excuse to go after black people. But I do like the fact that he says it's a war on poverty and not a war on black people, because it has nothing to do with skin color. And anyone who hasn't figured that out is a fucking idiot. It's all culture.
And
it's
on top
all
of
culture.
that, at that time too, especially during like the 80s and all that, the government was in bed with the cartel, and there's the whole entire black market.
Right.
It's still happening today with the fentanyl and everything else that's coming through. So it's just a big facade because they're not out actually trying to change or help those communities. They just put in different policies that allow the drug trade to continue to happen, but it just kind of manages it a little bit, but also creates more money for the state at the same time.
Like Jorge Ventura is showing, basically, the California is just being taken over by the cartel. It's fucking crazy. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Okay. 289, Uncle Joe. The President of the United States, Joe Biden, has something he wants to share with the Sevan Podcast.
That Joe Biden has done for this country, bro.
So he's fighting America's #1 health problem, which is obesity. And he did that by raising the gas prices so we could get more exercise. And saw that we weren't getting more exercise, he raised the price of food. When he saw that people were still eating badly or poorly, he decided to go ahead and have food shortages so we could fast. And fast is not only good for our physical health, but our spiritual and mental health also. So he's fighting obesity in some extreme ways, and it's just really good for us. And he's just doing an amazing job. And I just think, let's go, Brandon, you know?
That's sarcasm, right?
That would be that, yes.
Yes.
Get skinny, raise gas prices. Number 286, do you want the federal government to have the power to make abortion illegal? Here we go.
Swear to support and defend the Constitution and a country that treats its women like second-class citizens. How am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to do that with pride? How am I supposed to do that with love and honor? How am I supposed to wake up every day and put on a freaking uniform that says United States Army when the United States doesn't even give a rat's ass about me? It gives more of a rat's ass about the guns they're allowed to buy that kill the children that I'm forced to give birth to. Think about that. Oh, that's so funny. How am I supposed
To be fair, the military didn't give a shit about you to begin with, so it's fine.
It's crazy. I would need that explained to me how any woman's ever forced to have a baby. Clearly, everyone has the choice to have sex. Well, Sevan, what if someone's raped? Fine. That's less than 1% of all the abortions fall into all your butts. So we'll make some exception. But it's funny that she puts her rights over the baby's rights. I think something's wrong with you if you do that.
The selfie generation.
I think something's wrong with you. Yeah. If you think that women's rights are more important than babies' rights, especially since there's a lot of female babies. Like she couldn't even have the life to be offended if someone would have aborted her. It's fucking, I don't get it. I want to get it. I want to get it, but I just don't. And she doesn't want to you're not treating women like second-class citizens. You're fighting for a country that wants to protect all life, whether it be a baby or you or a transgender. I'm trying to try to switch to transgender.
Good on you.
Thank you.
You're evolving.
Let's see. Well, Sevi, if you do it in the butt, abortions wouldn't be. Okay. All right. I mean, that's some science. That's science.
That should work.
They are against the death penalty for an individual who did a heinous act, but they want to kill an innocent baby just because they think it's women's health. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, man.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. No leadership when this is allowed. Oh, 280. So whatever this is, I'm suggesting that the leadership is completely shit the bed. Please don't be anything CrossFit because Don Fall's coming on.
You
nice
got
CrossFit.
it.
Oh, son of a bitch. This is an attack on CrossFit. Okay, let's hear. Let's see.
Struggling off the floor at the end of the day yesterday. What was your recovery like getting into this morning?
Lots of carbs.
Pause. Why would you show that, CrossFit? What was your recovery like this morning? And her first answer is lots of carbs. Why would you show that? Well, Sevan, it doesn't matter. Carbs are good for you. Okay, fine.
Just upholding the methodology.
Why would you show that? The foundation of this company, of this methodology, is nutrition. The entire foundation. There's no movement. There's no exercise. The founder said that if he could only do one, exercise or eat right, he would eat right. This is no hatred towards Danielle, by the way. Good on her. People come on the show all the time and say there's a difference between performance and eating right for your health. By the way, there's not a lot of difference, but there's just more wiggle room if you're eating for performance. There's some things that you could probably do to get a little more out of the system that might not be good for your health.
And look at that asshole down here that liked it.
Matt. Souza, you scumbag.
I was just supporting PBE.
You just stared at her shoulders and her neck the whole time. You're like me.
I haven't heard anything she said in a year.
Yeah, I love your neck. You smell so good.
I got
Do
a
you
hug
notice
from
how
her at the
good Danielle
CrossFit
Brandon
Games.
smells in her post? What'd you say?
I said I got a hug from her at the CrossFit Games.
You did? Did you get any of her sweat on you?
A little bit.
That's awesome.
Tried to capture it and sell it, but evaporated.
It's just nuts. But it does show that there's no leadership. That there's no that would never. If there was because the leadership would have there'd be a strong vision. Like, hey guys, you don't need to lie. Yeah, right. The neck. Yeah, she's so. I mean, there's who knows, someone like some anatomy guy needs to just look at her and be like, this is why you can't. This is why we all lose your shit around Danielle Brandon. Guess what? It has to do with the fact that she's a fucking hot woman. It's one of the pieces of it, guys. Yeah, her DNA is expressing. But this just shows no leadership. You don't even have to hate carbs. You could be totally pro carb. You just don't do that. You don't do that when the foundation of you don't just be loose like that with those type of statements from one of your biggest brand ambassadors on one of the biggest platforms the company has. It just shows.
Yeah, and if that works for
whoever
her,
posts that's a fucking idiot of the highest order.
Yeah, and if it works
or
for her,
or it was inside job, or they're smart and they're trying to sink the company. I mean, they're trying to fuck with it. What'd you say, Souza?
I was just saying, if it works for her in her competitive state, that's fine and it's one thing. But like you said, there's just no reason for them to clip that and then
contextualize it.
Yeah,
contextualize it. Let her do that on her own platform.
Are you excited for Dawn to come on?
I'm very excited.
I have to run.
I wouldn't say I'm not more excited than I was Calvin Robinson today. That was gonna fucking be. I mean, I'm excited about all our guests. I mean, tomorrow we got some fucking. This dude tomorrow is gonna be awesome. I think this kid might have 1 million YouTube subscribers or something.
Yeah, I think he does. I have a list of questions for Dawn that I'll have to.
You have to pass through me first.
Of course.
You're gonna fuck us. You're gonna be like.
Of course.
You're gonna fuck us.
I don't
know if I'm more worried about Taylor Self at the Rogue Invitational or you on with Don Fall.
Just have a couple of questions. That's all. But I don't think they're gonna be the ones he's used to. Like, are you part of us?
Katie, what the fuck? I can't believe we have to sit in these seats and we're media. No, Taylor. No. No, Taylor. Taylor's a savage. Okay, 278. Happy 4th of July. I'm glad you're here, Souza. I'm just busting your balls. You know that. I'm excited. You're going to be on the show with me.
Okay. Not after you see my questions. You won't click me in.
Happy 4th of July, 278. Oh,
Thank you.
Wow. Rumor has it. Isn't that amazing?
And we're flagged.
Isn't that amazing?
It's a firework. Come on.
Total firework.
I think
that's how I'm going to start the show at Dawnfall. Dawn, what do you see?
Hemorrhoids.
Happy 4th of July. There's people who are still at home watching that and they don't understand. They're like, what?
Balloon knots.
There was a tree climbing competition in Denmark. I don't know why this is in my notes, but I was wondering if you needed a vaccine to go there. Okay, 273 man shit. God, I hope this really isn't poop. I hope that's just like man shit. It's like a chainsaw I saw somewhere that I want to buy. Okay, oh, here we go.
Tate.
Don't take creatine, protein shake, none of that crap. You know what I do? I smoke cigars, I drink booze, I have threesomes, and I hit the gym, and I lift the weights like a G. That's it. Never taking testosterone.
Keep going. Keep going.
Don't take creatine.
Oh, that's awesome.
I take creatine. I pedal testosterone. I hit the gym, and I have foursomes like a G.
Are you familiar with this stuff?
No, I've seen a little bit. I like him.
Oh my goodness,
I like him. He reminds me of that guy we had on the show, a lesser kind of version than that Elliot Nessel, the guy who had the 1 million YouTube subscribers, the fitness guy who was like explained to me why women didn't vote or maybe shouldn't vote. That was a fascinating conversation.
Shit.
Yeah,
that should be, and before anyone gets their panties in a twist, it was basically that the family should have a vote.
Right. And
he say what? Yeah, he was great.
And to address, Will put a comment up here, and he said, "But politics is upstream of culture. See, gay marriage, public opinion only switched." No. The only thing that changed was the culture, which then demanded the politics to switch, because the people put in demand to switch it. So then, therefore, the politics had to comply with the culture.
I would like to hear his thought on what public opinion only switched once the law changed. I'd be curious what he means, but I would be curious what law he's referencing.
Yeah, but like politics didn't say like, hey, we should change this. And then culture followed suit. There was already a culture and then a demand for it. And then politics wanted to sway that way for whatever reason. So then, therefore, it changed. And then after it changed, it became more widely spread. But it first had to start with a cultural change.
Caller, hi. Caller, something's going on. I don't know if you have YouTube on or what, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm calling from my phone. I'm actually heading to the gym right now. My bad.
Oh, good. So many people call while they're headed to the gym. That's nice.
It's cool.
Yeah, well, you know, it gets me motivated.
Awesome.
I actually have a question for Souza.
Cool.
By the way, sorry, real quick. Sorry, caller, interrupt. Elliot Hulse. Andrew Hiller chimes in. Thank you.
Hiller with the save.
He knows our show better than we do.
Okay, go ahead, caller. Sorry.
Hey, Souza. So I hear even Sevan says this. You guys talk about how like CrossFit is the cure to a lot of things, you know, with the obesity and the world, especially the United States and all that. I've been doing CrossFit for 9 years, and here's my question, I guess. Where do you find the balance between knowing that CrossFit is the cure and can help a lot of people, but as a gym owner, you know, finding the right price for a membership? Because it's like there's got to be a balance, because I have a lot of friends that are interested and need CrossFit, but I tell them the price and they're like immediately turned off. And they're like, well, I can go to Planet Fitness and I can do that for $10 or $15 a month. And I'm like, you can't. It's not the same. You're not going to get the same thing. But at the same time, on the other hand, you have to be able to make money for your gym. And I get that. And where do you find that balance, I guess?
I would just put it into context. If you just quickly ask him how much a night out costs for drinks and dinner, quickly, that's a one-time thing that you're just eating, drinking, and shitting out, as opposed to investing into your health. So the real thing is just they need to understand the value of what they're actually receiving. So potentially they don't necessarily understand it. So they should go into an affiliate that would be able to really explain what they're getting for that price and why it's more expensive than just a rent model. because that's the biggest difference. You get a coach who's going to lead community, who's going to help them out, who's going to personalize it for them within the class, as opposed to going to a Planet Fitness. You're just showing up to use their equipment. So it's completely a different model in that sense. But then the other thing too is just understand, like, quickly look at, like I said, go out to dinner, have 2 drinks each, 2 cocktails each, and a meal. And that damn near is the price of the monthly membership that you just spent in one dinner. So the thing is they're just not valuing the investment in their health as much as they're valuing other things outside of that.
That's true. I do feel like though that's a hard switch for people. Like if they're not already invested in their health, to try to convince them of that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying in general that's a tough conversation. I think they're just going to tell you to fuck off and I'm going to go Planet Fitness.
Yeah. And then in a year, you can ask them how that's working out for them, because most of the people in Planet Fitness and 24-hour fitness, they count on this. They count on selling you a membership, and they've done the research on it to figure out exactly how much money you'll spend a month, that you won't use the product, that you'll just let it sit on your credit card in the hopes of using it. They've done the research on that, and that's their whole entire model. If 24-hour fitness had everybody who was at membership show up, like if they had the same percentage of people show up every single day like we do at the affiliate, the gym couldn't function. It'd be way too busy. So basically they're just throwing their money away to make themselves feel good as if they have a gym membership, but they're not actually utilizing it.
Caller, could I chime in here? I don't have an answer for you, but I just want to just put some perspective. I'm not justifying either way, but let's say you had a gym and without paying your coaches, your overhead was $17,000 a month without paying your coaches. So that's like rent for the place, to keep the electricity on, have internet, pay for like some sort of music service, maintain the equipment, have insurance in case someone injures themselves, whatever. Let's say it's $17,000 a month. I think that's seems pretty fair. And you haven't paid any coaches yet, not a single coach. And your membership is $200 a month. You would need 85 clients to break even. So that means at $200 a month, you need 85 clients to break even. So that would mean you need 170 clients to make double that, which would be 408,000. But that still would only give you $204,000 to split between you as the owner and whatever trainers you have who are teaching the classes. And then your overhead might go up even more, because now you have 170 clients who are fucking up your gym, right? You're using twice as much toilet paper. They're breaking the equipment twice as fast. It's a fucking tricky situation. And that's why the vast majority of us started just online for free. The vast majority of CrossFitters do. And it's sad that people don't see that. It's like one of the coolest things about the internet. But then there are people like my wife who just really prefer going to an affiliate. It's like and my mom, it's awesome for them. And so it becomes to the fact of like, you know, I guess you kind of have to have the hard talk with them. Like, hey man, this is for anyone, but it's not for everyone. Like, I want to meet cool people and I want to live a long time and I want to be the strongest person when I go into Starbucks or Walmart. It's kind of like those have to be you want to meet cool people, you want to be super healthy, and you want to live longer. I mean,
yeah, and that's a hard sell, because you're selling them personal accountability. So it's always going to be really tough.
Yeah,
I would go anywhere for chicks though if I was 20, like, and especially for those kind of chicks. Do you know what I mean? Like chicks who are like putting themselves first.
Well, as someone that's been in the affiliate for like I've been like I said, I've been doing this for like almost 10 years, and how you doing? Thanks. Oh, sorry, I was getting into the gate. I just moved to San Antonio, and the gyms here are like super expensive. But I'm in the military.
Look, sorry. We had 158 live viewers simultaneously, and it was 158. Sorry. My meth head years were getting into me. Sorry. Okay, go ahead. You're in San Antonio.
So yeah, and the gym. So I'm coming from Mississippi. I've just moved to San Antonio. The gyms are just so much more expensive, and I love being in the affiliate. Like, I love the community. I love everything that CrossFit is in the affiliate. But like right now, I can't afford it. Like $210 a month on average is like for these gyms, and I get it. They got to do what they got to do to, you know. But like, so right now, I have to use the gym. They have these things called Beaver Fit. It's like a little Connex with like gym equipment in it. So I mean, that's nice, but it's tough. I mean, I miss the community, but I just.
How did they choose that
so
name?
Expensive.
Yeah.
Some British company, I have no idea.
And well, that's the best part about CrossFit because you could still have access to it if you have a gym and you've obviously been doing it for 10 years. And I mean, it is tough, but also too, this is the same thing that I talk to people depending on your personal finance situation, like crack the nut, ditch the Netflix, don't eat out as many, you know what I mean? Like, so there's just, obviously
Stop
I don't
using condoms.
Obviously I don't personal situation. I mean, that and they make sacrifices because weren't for them to invest in that else.
Souza froze. Caller, thank you for calling. Appreciate it.
You lose me.
Good luck in San Antonio. Let me know if you need anything.
Why do you live down there?
I used to.
David says CrossFitters ain't strong. And that's what's even crazier, that I'm the strongest person wherever I go.
Yeah, compared to what?
From doing CrossFit.
CrossFitters ain't strong.
Nowhere I go is anyone stronger than me. Okay, 267. Japan locking people down for online comments. That can't be true. Do you have any Japanese listeners?
Did you see what PayPal put out and then they immediately reversed?
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Japan will begin locking people up for online comments. Can you scroll down a little bit? Let me see what the fuck they're doing here. In Japan, posting online insults will be punishable up to 1 year in prison from today. The new law was passed earlier this summer. Individuals guilty of internet insults may be fined up to 300,000 yen, $2,200. Previously, the penalty consisted of less than 30 days in prison, maximum fine of 10,000 yen, $75. In 3 years, the law will be re-examined to determine if it affects freedom of expression. Shut the fuck up. Of course it affects freedom of expression, you jack. Like, you need a study for that. And all obese people are on medications. Is that hate speech?
It is to me.
And so do I go to jail for that? Am I fined for that?
That's violence to certain groups. You've just opened them up to violence. And I want you to know that people that are obese die faster than people that are not. And you're being harmful to those communities.
I've hurt their feelings when they hear that. It stresses them out.
Yeah. Crazy.
Daniel, did you hear about the stabbings in Vegas by someone who was here illegally from Guatemala and already had a criminal record in California? I'm actually surprised I haven't heard more about it. Because that's happening every day.
Yeah, all the time. But
what's happening in Philly. Nobody wants to hear about what's going on in Philly because it happens every day.
Yeah.
It doesn't support the agenda, so you got to keep that quiet. Daniel's picture was cool though. He's lifted that big stone.
266 voter fraud. I'm pretty happy with this. I think we get through 266 and I'm fucking good. Let's see, voter fraud. This should be fun. Veritas.
That's illegal. I could go to jail. So I'm a little apprehensive to tell somebody what I'm doing.
I guess Trump was right. I'm sorry.
About doing shit illegal?
I'm sorry?
About doing stuff illegal?
Yeah. They all said he was full of shit.
Oh, hell no, he's not. It's true. Yeah. Because you're not supposed to do that. If I have a bunch of them, I'll take 20 here, 30 here, 40 here.
Mix it up, not the same post office.
Of course not.
Yeah.
How many ballots do you think that you can do that with?
I've already done, I don't know, probably like 1,800.
Well, that's a lot of trips to the post office.
It's a lot of everything. Look at the shawl. Nice shawl. Oh, what's this? Motto allowed me $2,500 to buy gifts. I do shawls, I do diabetic socks, I do wallets, I do rosaries, I do loteria. Down here, loteria is big. Loteria is big. Bingo's big down here. I do bingo markers and I put their stickers on it. You can go to wherever you want, but our conversation that we had, you said you were voting for a hater because you were going straight Democrat. So they're gonna dot that in, and the line goes like this.
Oh, they're buying votes. So here's the deal, guys. Here's what's crazy. this is, I mean, you can find this shit just everywhere on the internet, and you can find it. They just sent out 30,000 absentee ballots in Colorado by mistake. Yeah, I know. And you could say what's happening on the right and left. The thing is the vast majority of evidence is always coming from the left. And that's not to say it's not happening on the right even more. We just haven't caught them yet. I don't know. But the vast majority, it seems like 95% of the shit I see, and the judges are saying it's not happening. They're like, oh, the judges say it didn't happen, or William Barr says it didn't happen. Dude, there's so much fucking evidence that it fucking happened.
Yeah, but they're terrified because if they start to admit it, everybody loses faith in the system. That could get pretty shaky quickly. The crazy thing is that they haven't done it electronically, to where you have to go in and you have to show your ID. You got to put in the stuff. They got to verify who you are. I mean, like, you have higher security on signing in on your Google email than you do with our voting, who our elected officials are. It's fucking insane. Why hasn't that caught up?
Because they're... I don't know. That's a good question.
I can even do one rep at 225, so that's really strong for me.
So you're telling me that 24 reps is very, very,
yeah,
very strong, David. Yes.
I mean, compared to what?
And David, if you don't think that's strong, use a troll.
Or he's trying to be like, well, I did 25, so 24 is nothing.
Okay, fine. One more. 265. COVID is from a lab. Covito. Pepito Covito.
Fight for the fittest.
One of my dear friends is like, I'm really sick and I don't have COVID. I'm like, how do you know? They're like, I got tested, and I just made me hate them. Go ahead. Why are you getting tested? Why was anyone getting tested? You get a pass, Caleb. Okay, go ahead. Play.
Thanks, I guess.
It may shock you or not shock you, or you may say, I already know that, Professor Sachs. But I chaired a commission for the Lancet for 2 years on COVID.
Pause.
I'm pretty convinced.
Do you guys know what the Lancet is? He chaired a commission on the Lancet. It's the one that all the people from the left are always like, well, I follow the Lancet. Well, I follow the Lancet. Well, I follow the Lancet. I'm going to look up the Lancet real quick. Medical journal that all the doctors follow. The Lancet, the best science for better lives. The best science. You fucking idiots. Oh, they had something about monkeypox. Yeah, they're just trendy. They're just trendy. It's basically the New York Times. The Lancet, jackasses. Big data on all pandemic preparedness. You don't got big nothing except big fucking pharma money. Okay, go on. So this guy was the COVID task force for the Lancet. Listen what he says.
Of U.S. lab biotechnology, not out of nature. Just to mention, after 2 years of intensive work on this. So it's a blunder, in my view, of biotech, not an accident of a natural spillover. We don't know for sure. I should be absolutely clear. But there's enough evidence that it should be looked into, and it's not being investigated. Not in the United States, not anywhere. And I think for real reasons that they don't want to look underneath the rug. I'll add.
Inside the Chinese lab poised to study world's most dangerous pathogens, February 2017. Nature. The expansion of BSL-4 lab networks in the United States and Europe over the past 15 years, with more than a dozen now in operation or under construction in each region, also met with resistance, including questions about the need for so many facilities. This guy's basically saying that, hey, they fucking made this thing in a lab. A laboratory in Wuhan is on the cusp of being cleared to work with the world's most dangerous pathogens. The move is part of a plan to build between 5 and 7 biosafety level 4 BSL-4 labs across the Chinese mainland by 2025, and has generated much excitement as well as some concerns. The Wuhan lab cost 300 million yuan, $44 million, and to allay safety concerns, it was built far above the floodplain. The safety concerns are the flood. That's like if you're in a hurricane, your safety concern should be COVID. Look at the poison plant's worried about hurricanes, and the hurricane people are worried about COVID. Did you see Joe Biden say that last year, a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
By the way, I think it. Did you see the media coming out about hurricanes are at an all-time low, 10-year all-time low this year?
But what about global warming?
I know. It's weird.
Weird.
CrossFitters Manson family. No, the CrossFitters, and that should be your mom on the other side.
When my argument doesn't work, label.
David, you're a good dude. Every show needs its hater. Yum. Damn.
Fight for the Fittest sent us their new advertisement or their new promo. So you want to call it?
Holy shit. Someone just sent me the text, the craziest text. Can I read this? All right. If this person doesn't respond soon, we're getting off. Great show. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry about Calvin Robinson, guys. I don't know what happened. That's the price we pay for dealing with bigwigs in the UK and having different time zones on the planet. 4 hours yesterday. Oh, okay. Here, I can read this on the air. Ready? Okay, this is from a friend of mine. I won't say their name.
Yes.
In 2007, this happened in 2017 and 18, with when Trump was in charge. I cannot thank you enough for taking on the woke military during the show. It's worse than you can imagine, and it's been bad for years, even during the Trump administration. I had an instructor chop his cock off and change his pronouns during a training course. My commander of an Army Ranger Special Operations Unit explained he was going out of his way to hire fewer white officers so he could have more black and woman officers.
You need to look into like the first female special tactics officer in the Air Force. That's just fucking hilarious. It's happening for sure, but they all get put in. I mean,
I just saw that. I just started following this lady who's a SEAL, and I sent it to a friend of mine who's a SEAL, who's a male. I'm like, this is a SEAL? They just wrote back, I guess.
A SEALette.
Oh, SEALette.
Yeah, sure.
I need to get her on the. I need to get her on the podcast.
Oh, I would love to be on that one. I want to hear how many times she tried to quit.
Please send your questions in to be approved before that, Caleb.
Oh, God. I'm being censored.
The Army, I don't know if this is true. The Army recruited 28 people this last May. It's usually 8,000. Could it really be that low?
Damn.
Oh, like in a month? I could see that.
Yeah. You could?
Yeah, sure.
See it go down from fucking Army recruitment news.
There's also like nothing going on.
Well, it says the Marine hit all its recruitment goals for 2022. Army to expand recruiting programs. Excuse me. It says for the fiscal year ended September 30th, the Army has reached 75% of its goals. Caller, you're the last caller. Hi, caller.
Are you still doing your thing?
Oh yeah. Sorry. I'll call you back later.
Okay. Call anytime. Bye.
Did you pick up the wrong line?
I picked up the wrong line.
Awesome.
Okay, I gotta go on that note.
Yep.